Hello, my ambitious women. Great to see you tonight. I'm so happy that you guys are here to join me for Training Tuesday. And the question of the evening is, what's going to make you successful this year? And as you're thinking about what makes you successful this year, what are those New Year's resolutions or those goals that you're putting in front of yourself to help you drive to that outcome? Tonight, we're talking about New Year's resolutions or intentions or goals, whatever you want to call them. And what do we need to be successful at those? Do we need to have more discipline, more focus, more determination, more willpower? We often tell ourselves it's more willpower that we need, that whenever we set a new goal or a new intention or a new resolution, that if I only had more willpower, I would be successful. So here's the thing to know about resolutions. Within the first week of a New Year's resolution, 25% of you will abandon your goals. Within 6 months, 60% of people abandon their goals. The number of people who actually make it to the end of the year having successfully fulfilled their New Year's resolutions, 8%. So that's a pretty elite group. I have fallen into every single one of those statistics. I have done the lose weight, follow every diet in the book, feel really great about myself, and then gain it all back, and then some. I have done the try the new exercise routine, go to the gym, do the at-home workout, try all the different styles of stuff, until I stopped. I've done the sign up for this self-improvement program or this communication course or this other thing that's going to help me at work kind of improve my skills and get better, and then just not gone, or done it part way and then stopped, dropped out. I have promised myself and other people that I would be a better boss, better leader, be better at my job, work on these other skills, be a better mother, be a better friend, be a better partner. And then at the end of the year, I looked back and went, I don't know that I improved as much as I intended to. When we set ourselves up for New Year's resolutions, in a lot of ways, it's like the best way to set ourselves up for failure. It is the best way to set ourselves up to beat ourselves up later in the day. Because oftentimes when we set ourselves up for New Year's resolutions, we do it without putting the proper tools in place to ensure we're successful. We insist that it's willpower. If I just had that discipline, if I just had that focus and willpower, I would be successful. But New Year's resolutions do not have to be the best way for us to set ourselves up for failure once we realize that it's really not about the willpower. That's actually not the core ingredient for having success. So, what is it that you do need? 3 things. 3 criteria, 3 foundational pieces that you should have in place if you're serious about meeting your New Year's resolution goals. First and foremost, and actually, if you're taking notes, this you want to write down because then you're going to want to spend some time with this. Whatever goal, resolution, intention, whatever you want to call it, whether you set it by it's the new year, whether you set it monthly by the new moon, whether it's just something you do kind of as you feel it, whenever you're setting a new goal or a new intention for yourself, first question to ask is it meaningful? And why? You have to get to your why. And if you need deeper understanding about what we mean by getting to your why, go to TED Talks and watch the Simon Sinek video on why, on getting to your why. But you have to connect with the why are you even making this resolution? Because we have a tendency to set ourselves up with New Year's goals and resolutions that actually aren't that important to us, or they're important to us but for different reasons than the ones that would truly motivate us. So what I mean is sometimes we set ourselves up for New Year's resolutions for these goals because we think we should. It's not because I want to lose 10 pounds. It's because I think I should lose 10 pounds. Because if I lost 10 pounds, I'd fit into these other clothes and I would look cuter and other people would judge me as more attractive. So do I want to lose 10 pounds? So in truth, yeah, I do. I would like to lose 10 pounds. But when I think about how I set that up as a New Year's resolution goal, is it motivating for me to lose 10 pounds so that I can fit in my clothes better and feel more comfortable? Yeah, a little bit. Is that motivating enough that I'm going to give up my croissants? Because if I have to drop 10 pounds, I probably have to give up eating croissants and chocolate and things that I really like. I'm not sure that's enough of a motivation. But if my why behind losing the 10 pounds isn't actually even about losing 10 pounds, if my why is about, I want to feel better in my body. So I don't know about you guys, but for those of you who are women of a certain age, like I am, where perimenopause and menopause has been wreaking havoc with my body these last few years, and truthfully, this year in particular has been rough. I don't feel the same in my body. It's like reverse puberty or something. But food is affecting me differently. Different things I eat and drink and my different routines are affecting me differently. One of my resolutions for 2021 is to figure out how do I feel better in my body. And I know that food is a big component of that. Now, when I think about that, am I motivated to change some of my habits and maybe eat fewer croissants so that I can figure out how I can feel better in my body? Yeah, that's a different motivation for me. Feeling better and getting healthier is a different motivation than dropping 10 pounds so I fit in my clothes better. One is not necessarily better than the other, but they are different motivations. So I want you guys to think about that. And if you're here live with me, feel free, by the way, to say hello. Share your resolutions, ask questions. It's live, so I'm here. I'm sharing with you the training for tonight, but I'm more than happy to chat with you and answer questions as we go as well. And I would love to hear what your guys' resolutions are. So one of mine is every year it's losing weight and being healthier, and every year I'm trying to figure out new ways to do it. But getting to the core, so step number one and component number one of successful resolutions or goal setting is get to the why. That, when you know your why, leads to component number two, which is when you get to your why, now you can figure out what are the habits and processes that have to change. Because something has to change for me in order to get healthier, feel better. Clearly, the way I'm feeling now, what I'm doing isn't working. What has to change? Is it what I'm eating? Is it how much I'm eating? Is it when I'm eating? What are my habits today that I would look at changing? Now, typically when we go into the new year with a goal like that, like new you, healthier me, yay, right? We're talking about changing. I'm going to change the way I eat. I'm going to change how I exercise. I'm going to change my whole daily routine. And then come January 1st, we throw this whole new system on top of ourselves where we're like, I'm getting up every day at 5 a.m. and I'm going to drink a kale smoothie, and then I'm going to go for a 3-mile run. That's my new routine starting January 1st. Well, if your current routine is I get up at 7 a.m., I make a cup of coffee, maybe I eat a croissant, and then I walk my dog for 20 minutes, that's a very different routine. Then I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. I'm going to have a kale smoothie and I'm going to go for a 3-mile run. Very different. When we do that, right? When we say whole different life, new me, new year, boom, and we make all those changes all at once, then I can guarantee you that by day 4 or 5 into my new routine, I'm tired, I'm cranky, I'm exhausted, I'm frustrated, and I'm probably hungry. Which means that by day 7 or 8, I am part of that 25% that is out within the first week of trying to set my goal. I'm done because it's too much. I've tried to change too much because my routines, my processes processes. I don't know why I struggle with that word. My routines, my systems for that morning, right, that day, are very different. So for step 2, component 2, when you know your why, step 2 is break down the current process that you have in place, the current patterns that you have in place, the current routines. Break down what has to change, because it's a very different scenario if instead, knowing I want to make all those changes, January 1st, I say, I'm going to start with just getting my butt out of bed earlier. So I normally get up at 7. Let's dial it back to 6:30. Maybe I'll try to dial it back to 6. Maybe I'm not quite ready to get up at 5, but I'm just going to try to get up a little earlier. I'm still going to make my coffee. I'm still going to eat my croissant. I'm still going to walk my dogs. But for the first couple of weeks, I just want to get up out of bed earlier. Once I'm doing that successfully, then maybe I'm going to get out of bed earlier. And I'm going to try, maybe I'm not quite ready for the kale smoothie, but maybe I could move to like a berry and banana one, right? You want baby steps. Baby step your process. You are changing habits and routines and behaviors that for a lot of them, you may have had for years. I have been a coffee drinker since I was 18. If I'm going to detox from coffee, waking up January 1st and saying suddenly I'm on kale and not coffee, guaranteed withdrawals, right? Guaranteed not goodness happening that week. But I can cut back from the pot of coffee to a cup of coffee. I can cut back from the cup of coffee, maybe to switching to tea. I can switch from that, right? We baby step it. I can switch from that pattern then maybe to a smoothie, and then eventually to the kale smoothie. And in the meantime, I could switch from walking my dogs for 30 minutes to go for a run, but maybe it's just a mile the first time out instead of 3 miles. What we're trying to do is set down the building blocks for success for the new patterns, because when we set an intention for the year, we forget that we don't have to do it all day one of the year. We have 52 weeks in the year to hit our goals. 52 weeks. So I can focus on losing 10 pounds and drink 2 shakes a day and eat 1 meal and basically shrink my stomach, and I can lose those 10 pounds in, say, 3 weeks to a month. And yes, I'll fit in my clothes better, but will I hit my why of feeling better? No. If I remember that I have 52 weeks out of the year to hit my goal of losing the weight and feeling better in my body, then making a change every week, every couple of weeks, adding on a new change that gets me closer to the lifestyle I want to lead, that is the healthier lifestyle, is going to ensure I am more successful, because I am changing habits and changing patterns. So step 1, get closer to your why, find out why you're motivated to do what you want to do. Step number 2, baby step it. Break down your routines and your habits so that you can, one at a time, make the changes that build up to the life that you want to lead. Which then leads us to step number 3. Once you have those 2 pieces in place, the third, and probably one of the most important pieces to have in place, your support system. Who are the people that are helping you along this journey? No matter what your goal is, whether it's losing weight and exercising, whether it's advancing, like what we do in this group, advance your leadership skills, advance your career in some way, whether it's a promotion or you're changing careers or whatever that is, whatever it is the change you're trying to make, ensure you have the right support behind you for it. When we're dieting, we can go look and read online and read books and find recipes and follow kind of any sort of diet program. When we're serious about our health, so that's if I want to lose 10 pounds. If I'm serious about my health and feeling better and wanting to treat my body better and respond to the changes that are going on, if I want true support, I'm probably going to go talk to a nutritionist. If I want to be physically stronger and physically fit, I can go to the gym. I can connect with friends and start a walking group or a running group. I can hire a personal trainer. But I'm finding the right support network for the tools that I have. So one of my other goals, for example, is longer term, right? If you work with me, or if you've talked with me on some of the different trainings, I talk about working with women with BHAGs. It's my favorite. Big, hairy, audacious goals. What's your BHAG, right? For 2021 and beyond. One of mine for and beyond, it's a long-term goal for me, is for Dirty Girls Consulting to not just grow and expand and be a bigger business. I want that. But for me to be able to set up a foundation that supports girls, younger girls and young women in getting the training, the learning, and the financial support to make their dreams come true. Because I believe that any dream we have for what our life could look like or what we could do is absolutely possible. I also believe that many of us are conditioned in the way that we're raised to not believe that, to not be willing to go after that and chase that. And I want to create a place where girls can come in with their big dreams and find both the educational resources and the financial resources to help make those dreams come true. That's a longer term goal for Dirty Girls. I'm not there yet, but I want to get there. And since that is part of my plan for how I grow and scale my business, I have a coach. I hire a coach to help me figure out how do I grow my business so that I hit my BHAG. Because part of the role of your coach, whether it's your nutritionist, whether it's your personal trainer, whether honestly it's your best friend who's just keeping you accountable for something you want to do, or whether it's a coach that you hire to help you with any of your professional goals or your personal goals, the role of the coach is to keep you accountable, to be your support no matter what your goal is, and to be on the journey with you. So whoever you're roping into your circle, right? So for example, for my personal financial goals, I go to my mom. She manages money really well. And her brother, also my uncle, is a financial planner. So when I'm thinking about my money goals, I go to them for advice, right? But whoever you're roping in to help you, right, to be that part of that support system, they need to know what your goal is, what you want to be accountable for, and how they can best support you. So when I say to my friend Antoinette, hey, in 2021, we are totally going to kill it, and we're going to hit our 10,000 steps at least 3 days a week, and on one of those days you're going to walk with me, she's allowed to hold me accountable if I bail on missing my steps, or I bail on one of the walks that we scheduled together. But she knows what that is. She knows what my goal is. She knows how I'm trying to get there, and she's part of my support network. A coach gets you there, whatever role they play. They get you there faster, they get you there with better results, and they hold you accountable. When you think about things like Weight Watchers, right? Why is it successful? Weight Watchers and programs like that are successful because they have the process in place, right? They have the tools in place where you are changing your habits. You're connecting with those changes because you have to write them down, right? You have to log them somewhere, whether it's points or what you're doing, right? Food logs and things like that. So there's accountability through the tools, but there's also accountability with people. It's one thing for me to say, I'm going to log my food items and I skip a day because the software program or the app on my phone isn't going to respond in a particularly emotional way. It's going to send me a reminder that I missed a day and I'm going to go, whatever. If I have to turn around and tell my BFF, yeah, I ate not just that piece of cake, but I followed it up with ice cream later that day, I'm going to think twice because I have accountability towards someone whose opinion I value and who I ask to make me accountable for the action. So the 3 things you need as you're making your resolutions, your goals, whatever your intentions, whatever they are for 2021, whether it's for the full year or for a month, the 3 things you need to have in place are sit down with a piece of paper and connect with your why. Why is this goal important to me? What is my motivation behind this? Why do I want to do this? Because when you know why you want to do it, it's going to feed the how you want to do it, which is what are the specific habits and patterns I need to change? And how do I break them down and prioritize them so that I'm doing a piece at a time? And I'm not overwhelming myself in week 1, with trying to change everything at once, because we're just not wired for that. We get overwhelmed, we get stressed, and then we tap out. That's not the recipe for success. Step number 3 is, who is in my circle? Who do I know? Who do I need to recruit to help me be accountable for the changes that I want to make? And not just who's available, who's the best resource? Who's truly the right person in that? Because while I will turn to my mother for financial advice, I'm not necessarily turning to her for scaling my business. She's not an entrepreneur. She hasn't scaled her own business before. So that's what I go to my coach for. I'll go to my best friend for relationship advice, but how do we pick our friends for our relationship advice? We pick them based on either they've been in my shoes, and so they know it, or they are at where I want to be. They're going to help me figure out how I get there. It's pretty much how we pick anybody who gives us advice or who serves as a coach. So those are the 3 components you need. Now, keep in mind, those 3 components I just gave you, in none of those were about willpower. It's not about this inner strength and will that we think we must have to overcome and achieve things. It is about setting up the right environment for us to be successful. That is how we build change. That is how we change patterns. That is how we flex our leadership muscles. When we think it's willpower and we say it's all willpower's fault, we beat ourselves up. We demean ourselves, we belittle ourselves, we call ourselves names, we say that we're weak. We internalize guilt and failure. Are any of those activities useful? No, not even a little bit. The core definition of willpower is the ability to postpone short-term benefit, short-term temptation for longer-term gain. That's all that it is. It's a moment in time, but a moment in time doesn't get you to your long-term goals. Process, pattern, and a connection to your why is what gets you to the longer-term goals. So those are the components that we want to put in place. Is it a valuable ingredient? Sure, because in that flash of a moment where you are faced with the bag of Oreo cookies, and you are focused on eating healthier and being healthier, having a moment of willpower to say, yeah, I really can't do that right now, it's definitely helpful. But it's also helpful to know that you have processes and systems in place that help you avoid the cookies in the first place so they're not in your pantry, and that you have a friend to call to say, okay, I am having a moment here, and those Oreo cookies are calling to me like crack, so what do I do? Just find ways to get that out of your system. That's what it's for. You put those 3 pieces in place, those 3 foundational pieces in place, then the willpower comes. The willpower is the easy part. So again, I would love to hear you guys what your New Year's resolutions are, what you're focused on for 2021, what the support system you're going to have in place to help you. As women, we are so programmed to do things by ourselves. We are so wired to think, yeah, I got this, I can handle this. It'll be better, it'll be faster, I'll get it done my own way. And we forget that we are essentially communal creatures. We are. We need people in connection, and we should absolutely take advantage of the fact that we have some shared goals. I can guarantee you I am not the only woman in our group who's thinking, I would love to lose 10 pounds. I would love to feel healthier and better in my body this year. I would love to figure this whole menopause thing's out and why it's wreaking havoc with my body. So it's all about changing the systems in your environment to support the goals. And that includes connection with the why, changing your routines, baby stepping those changes, and creating a support group. And thank you, Sherry. Environment, yes, it is. Environment's the biggest one, right? When you surround yourself with temptation, that's when you beat yourself up on the willpower front. And it's not necessary, and it's not useful, and it's not fun at all. So that's tonight's Tuesday training. I wanted to end with an announcement, which some of you I think have seen already, but if not, starting next week, I am doing a 5-day challenge with the whole mission of helping you be successful with your New Year's resolutions, with your goals for 2021. So here's the deal with the 5-day challenge. If you haven't done one before, we do these on Facebook. They're in a private Facebook group. So there will be a separate private Facebook group I will set up for the 5-day challenge. And what it is every day for the 5 days, there is one small challenge you do to help you build your leadership muscles that get you closer to your goal, whatever your goal is. What we're going to focus on are leadership skills that are going to help you take better control of your life, of your career, of how you're moving forwards towards your 2021 goals. So 5 days, 5 small challenges. Now, the way that I've worked this, because I know that you guys are busy, I know that you have jobs, I know that you have families and things to do, and I also know that we all step into the new year going, clean slate, gonna get it all done. I want you to be part of the 8% of people who are successful with their goals. So that we're not part of the 25% who drop out of their goals in the first week, we're going to spend the first week together making sure that we are on track. So it's a 5-day challenge. It starts Monday, January 4th. It runs through Friday the 8th. How it's going to work is every day at 8 a.m., I'm going to drop a short training and what your challenge is, what your actual activity is. At noon, that's at 8 a.m. Eastern time. At noon, I'm going to be live in the private Facebook group, offering a little more context around the training and available for Q&A, available to answer questions and just have conversation about what it is you're wrestling with as you're working towards your goals and as we're flexing these leadership muscles. So 8 a.m. is the challenge. Noon is the live. You have until midnight every day to submit your homework. So here's the deal with challenges. And this is where challenge is different. A lot of you have been at my master classes. The challenge is different because the challenge requires you to take action. So I want you to join this challenge if you are ready to actually take action and make progress against your goals. The challenge is free. It runs for the 5 days, but it's for action takers. It's for people who say, yes, I want the goal enough that I'm willing to take the first 5 days of the year to ensure that those baby steps I'm taking are securing that I'm not dropping out. I'm not part of the 25% of people who walk away from their goals within the first week, but that I've actually built some muscle and momentum towards my goals that I can keep going. That's what I want for you. I want you to be the 8% at the end of the year who goes, crushed my goals for 2021, time to move on to 2022. So 5 days, 5 small challenges. Your commitment is you're an action taker. You're going to do the work. Somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes a day is what you're going to need to do the work. The challenges are short. They're simple. These are not overly complicated. They're not hard, but they do require you to carve out the time to do them and share them in the group. We will do daily drawings for prizes in the group because why not? It should be fun. And it's a way for you to practice your leadership skills. So if you're ready to get into action, this is a fun, short, fast, fantastic way to do it to ensure that your goals are off to a great start. So if one of your New Year's resolutions is to keep your head in the game, move your career forward, and just own it, leadership. Own your career, own your life, own the next steps you're going to take. Join the challenge. Drop the word challenge in the comments, and I will send you the details for the challenge so that you can join us. Like I said, it's going to be a separate private Facebook group. All the action is going to happen there. So challenge in the comments, and I will hook you up with our 5-day challenge. It starts Monday, January 4th for 5 days through Friday. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Sherry, I see that you wrote one of your resolutions is to create the right environment to eat healthier. I got to tell you, that is the biggest thing. That is the one thing I have found. A lot of you know that my 2 sons live with me. They're 18 and 22. So they don't have to watch their waistline so much. When there is chips in the house or ice cream in the house, holy cow, that's my downfall. So yes, as I try to change the environment in my house, Sherry, to make things healthier for me, I do work very hard to get them on board with me. So that, because honestly, if it's in the house, I'm going to eat it. That's like, I don't even bother with willpower. If it's in the house, I'm going to eat it. So the strategy is don't bring it in the house. That's a big one. I'm totally on board with you, Sherry. So again, guys, we're coming up on New Year's. It's the 29th tonight. You've got a few more days to think about your goals. You've definitely got a few more days to sign up for the 5-day challenge. Let's crush your goals. Let's make them happen. Drop challenge in the chat below. And in the meantime, have a fabulous new year. I know that a lot of us are happy to be done with 2020. Personally, 2020 was tough. I'm really looking forward to 2021, and I want to share in the success of our goals with you. Have a great night, guys, and thank you for joining me tonight.